The next thing is just a couple of points of what business analytics can do in the decision-making process. The first one is creating insights from data as we've gone through the pyramid. Going from that raw data, that noisy data, all the way to you've learned something about your business, your customers, your suppliers, perhaps your competition if you've done a competitive analysis. Another one is improving the ability or capability to forecast something so that you can plan. Forecast how many pounds of steel you're going to need in the next 3 quarters if you're a manufacturer of refrigerators. Forecasting how much revenue you're going to gain if you increase your price by $2 for the next 6 months. Forecasting how many customers you're going to lose if you raise your prices, etc. The next one is quantifying risk. Okay, so risk is often subjective. I don't know if I want to spend this money, it's risky. Well, business analytics can put numbers to those things by creating scenarios and doing simulations. Later on in this course, you'll be working with Monte Carlo simulations. And so that will address the idea of risk and risk management, the appetite for risk when it comes to decision making. And the other one here, the final one to discuss, is yielding better alternatives. So we've talked about the scientific method and the approach to do analytics. You listen and you understand the business problem, you define it, and then you work through and start identifying possible alternatives or things you might need to solve the problem and provide alternative solutions. So through the practice of analytics and using data science, you can identify alternatives and choose the one that optimizes your business. Choose the one that optimizes your revenue, your cost, your profit, etc. Okay, now, so going through that leads us to the 3 different types of analytical models. When I say this, I'm not talking about the different type of mathematical approaches. You're going to have a lot of different courses that address those. I'm talking about the 3 categories. And they are this. Descriptive analytics, where we look at historical data only. What happened yesterday? So it really addresses the what happened, or what. Who bought from us last month? What did they buy? Where did they buy it? How did they pay? All past tense things that happened. The second one is predictive analytics. And it's very important here to understand that descriptive statistics, descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, they are not the same thing. But predictive analytics needs you to understand historical data. You cannot do a prediction. You cannot complete a forecast if you don't have good data from the past. If you don't trust the data that you have. If it's not clean, you can't use it. It's too risky. It could create a bad forecast. Okay? So within predictive analytics, there's several different types of models, and you'll learn them all throughout this program, including many of them in this course. Prescriptive analytics is similar to predictive, but prescriptive is when you do a model that goes over the best solution. In predictive analytics, you could run 5 to 6 different models, and you have to decide which one's the best solution. Prescriptive gives you the best solution. It doesn't give you any alternatives. It gives you only the best one. So why would you do prescriptive over predictive? Well, prescriptive gives you the best one, but sometimes your company might not be able to pull off the best one. Goes back to the previous video when we were talking about decision making. You might find the optimal solution, you might find the best solution, but your company isn't willing to invest in it. Your company isn't willing to spend that money, or there isn't enough time to implement that decision. You don't have enough people. Your skilled people are too busy. They have other priorities in the company. The operational level that you want to suggest we improve, those people might be tied up in other tactical levels of your business. Okay, so that's why we have predictive and prescriptive. And it's important to know the difference. Okay?